Homestead is 6-0, and Carroll is 4-2. The two teams meet each other at Carroll High School this Friday for an SAC rivalry.
Every year, we have this game circled for sure. It's, in my opinion, the biggest rivalry in the SAC, the best rivalry in the SAC. Team up north, team up south. So we're going to come out with a lot of energy and then, kind of ruin their night at their home field on Friday.
Homestead's a great team, but I feel like we're a great team too. We've lost 2 very close games, but I feel like we know what we had to do better those games and know we can come into this game ready.
After beating Dwenger and Snyder in back-to-back weeks, Homestead won 47-21 against a now 2-4 Northside team. Luke Goode threw for over 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Spartans are pleased with their performance, but are hoping for better in the weeks to come.
We had a mindset all week to not take them lightly. They can beat any team out there, and they got great players on both sides of the ball. So we went into the week kind of ready for that. And I feel like our performance as a team was all right. We got the win, obviously, but I don't think it was good enough to beat those good teams and those really good teams that we'll be playing.
The Chargers bounced back from a Week 5 loss to Dwenger by knocking off Southside in Week 6. They got a 120-yard rushing performance from Evan Harris, 143 receiving yards from Leighton Mitchell, and the defense only gave up 6 points. But they scored just 7 points in the first half before pulling away in the second. The final score was 27-6.
I thought that we were a little slow at the beginning. Bottom line is that, we found a way to get in the end zone 4 times. Our defense played really well, holding them to about 30 yards rushing. We have 4 takeaways on the defensive side. And bottom line, it's a win. Wins on Friday night are not always easy to come by. And, it's in the win column, putting us at 4-2, and we're happy about that.
The game will feature 2 of the top quarterbacks in the SAC. The Spartans' Luke Goode is the conference's leading passer with over 1,500 yards this season. He has thrown 17 touchdown passes, and he has completed 63% of his passes. Though he is proud of his accomplishments so far, that doesn't mean he's content.
Coach Skellin preaches to me every week to get better, keep getting better, and that's what I'm trying to do every week. I come in and work as hard as I can, and every game my goal is to get better and do better for my team.
Carroll's Jeff Becker has thrown for 1,114 passing yards, giving him the second highest total in the SAC. Becker is a sophomore and a first-year starter. He has thrown for 11 touchdowns on the season, and he can also run with the ball. Becker is the Chargers' leading rusher, averaging 66.3 yards per game.
A sophomore that comes into the conference, and not having played varsity ball before, and it's always about the speed of the game and them understanding, coverages and defenses, and he has developed, he has matured, and he has grown, and I think the same thing for our team. Our team has matured, our team has grown.
The Chargers have several key contributors at the offensive skill positions. Leighton Mitchell and Mason Englert are the leading receivers. Mitchell has 474 receiving yards, while Englert has 266. Each of them is averaging over 16 yards per catch. Englert is a first-year starter, and while Mitchell did start last year, his production has increased this year. Last year he had 16 catches. So far this year, he has 28.
It's great to see those guys emerge. They've been working so hard all off-season, and they've been working hard during practice throughout the weeks, and it's great to see him perform for us, and it really helps out our offense.
Senior running back Evan Harris has rushed for 342 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry. Like Englert and Becker, Harris is a first-year starter. Last year, he backed up Rhett Saylor, who was the Chargers' leading rusher at the time. Saylor proved to make quite an impact on Harris.
Rhett was a great mentor to me. He really made sure I understand each play and understood the scheme and where each hole would be or where it could be possibly, and he really affected in how I'm performing this year. He showed me the ropes.
As for Homestead, they've been spreading the ball around to several different receivers. Griffin Little leads the Spartans with 331 yards, and Jake Archbold leads them in touchdowns with 6. Meanwhile, Jared Kistler and Camden Rogers have each averaged over 19 yards per catch.
We're blessed with right now. A lot of kids can do a lot of different things, and we can distribute the ball a lot of different ways. And when you have that situation, you can be tough to stop.
Like I say over and over, it's so easy to be a quarterback when your receivers are open 95% of the time. They make me look good. So those guys are out there running routes, getting open, and all I have to do is get them the ball. So when I have that luxury to be able to hand it off to Hardwick, him go get 10 yards, or go throw it to any receiver and then be open by 5 yards, it makes it easy on me.
Speaking of Braden Hardwick, he remains the SAC's leading rusher. He has surpassed his rushing yard total from last year and now has 860 yards on the ground as well as 14 touchdowns on the season.
He's been tremendous all year for us. He does exactly what we ask him to do, and he practices hard. He did a lot of work in the offseason, so he's been really good.
Though both offenses pose a challenge, both defenses are also forces to be reckoned with. The most points Carroll has given up in a game is 21 against Snyder. They've held the rest of their opponents to no more than 1 score per game. Larry Seibel leads the team in sacks with 5, and the Chargers have picked off 10 passes on the year.
Our defense has answered to occasions. They have answered to every call that has been brought to them, and we expect nothing less of them. Homestead is a good offensive team with good quarterback, with good receivers, good running game, good offensive line. But we expect our defense to rise to the occasion.
Homestead's defense gave up 12 points combined in the first 3 games of the season. And in Week 4, they held Bishop Dwenger to 15 points and 103 rushing yards as a team. Matt Miller leads the team in sacks with 4, and the Spartans have made 30 tackles for loss on the season. But they hope to see improvement on defense after giving up a combined 57 points in the last 2 weeks.
Snyder week, we kind of got off track of what we've been used to. So we've really been drilling hard in practice, and coach has really been getting on us. So we're looking to come back and be a fast and physical defense like how we were at the beginning of the year, and just play Homestead football. Really, that's what it's all about, is just worrying about ourselves and worrying about what we can control.
The Spartans are no stranger to big games. They beat Dwenger and Snyder in back-to-back weeks, and they opened the season by beating Northrop, who is now 4-2.
So far, so good. This is another big test this week, and so we hope to continue that trend. But you never know. We've got to play extremely well to be successful in all these games, and especially this Friday.
Carroll also defeated Northrop, and while they played close games against both Dwenger and Snyder, the Saints beat them 10-3, and the Panthers beat them by 1.
That's just 1 or 2 plays that's really set us apart, that we need to win those 1 or 2 plays, and that could change the game for us. Snyder lost by a point, Dwenger lost by a touchdown, so if just a little bit's different in those games, and it could go our way, which is what we're looking to do this week.
Homestead and Carroll both joined the SAC in 2015. Before then, they were rivals in the Northeast Hoosier Conference. For Summit City Sports, this is Thad Goff. The Chargers host the Spartans at 7 p.m. at Carroll High School.
Side looking downfield, and he's got a fingertip catch, and they've got a chance to score. We have 2 plays and 2 touchdowns. It is going to be 7-6. That'll be 80 yards on the play to Jared Kistler.
The fake, the roll wide open, and it's caught there for a touchdown by Ray Vollmer.
It's Mix on the beat.